If you are a spiritual entrepreneur, a coach, a healer, an intuitive, and you want to grow your community, expand your impact, and support more people, this is for you. I'm going to be diving into how to massively grow your community as a spiritual entrepreneur in 2024. I started my coaching business and growing my spiritual boss babe brand back in 2016, 2017. And I've grown a really beautiful community over the years. And times have changed, things have shifted. There's a new way to go about it, so to speak, this day and age than in the past. So you want to be extra intentional. I'm going to go over the three core foundational pieces to growing a highly engaged community of amazing humans who absolutely love the things that you share and are super aligned with everything that you have to offer. The first thing is be really clear about your vision, your mission, the type of people you are wanting to draw in. So, something that would really help with this is focus on a common goal or dream or desire that your people have, or the type of person that they are. For example, for my people, I wanted to attract spiritual boss babes, which are spiritual women who have a burning calling in their heart to serve and make an impact with their gifts. And so I started speaking to that type of person, and they would self select themselves into my reality, whether it was my Facebook group, my Instagram, my podcast. People would self select and say, I'm a spiritual boss babe. Oh, I resonate with this. Oh, I want to learn about this. So know who you're speaking to and what you're supporting them with. Obviously, this is a given, but sometimes, oftentimes, depending on where you're at on your journey, it can seem confusing, overwhelming. You might feel like you want to share so many different things, and I'm not saying you can't do that, but you might feel a little scattered. So zoom out a little bit, think about the bigger picture, your overarching mission. For example, for me, my main thing is I love supporting spiritual entrepreneurial women with getting their message out into the world and being who they came here to be. There's a lot of things involved in how I support people in doing that, but that is my overarching message. And don't worry, it can shift, it can evolve, it can expand just as you do on your journey. And that's perfectly normal. But start there, connect to that, stay connected to that, because it's going to support you with your content when you're speaking to your people. It's going to support you with how you show up. It's going to support you with the type of community that you want to create and the language that you're using, the words that you're using to speak to those people. And that's actually a really good point that I just said right there. Think about that. What kind of language, what kind of words are your people gravitated to? I know that for me, my people are gravitated to all the different things that I talk about around spirituality and business, how to blend the two, how to shift your energy and vibration, how to magnetize clients. And there's certain language, there are certain words, there are certain things that I use in my vocabulary for myself, and also that I know that my people are resonating with on a frequency, energy level. So consider what some of those things are for you and for your people so that you naturally attract the right people that are meant to be in your world that will be interested in the things that you have to share. The second thing is a pretty loaded thing, but super freaking important. And it's all about you, actually, because your true authenticity, your realness, your relatability, your energy, your star power, that is literally what is going to draw your people in. We are magnetic when we are in our power. So be yourself, be authentic, be relatable. Consider sharing more of your stories, your vulnerabilities, your personal experiences, your embodied wisdom, the things that you believe in, your hot takes that may go against the grain, that show that you are a leader and really believe in what you are preaching and sharing about. Be yourself. Don't just be all about your business or, you know, have this like one lane of what you're expressing through. No, you get to actually be all of you. And that's what attracts the people that are meant to work with you, that are meant to collaborate with you. It attracts different opportunities. And it's the one thing that I found that most people struggle with. They don't necessarily struggle being themselves, they struggle showing themselves because a lot of times we are afraid to be seen in bigger ways from fear of judgment, fear of failure. What are other people going to think? All the things that come up when it comes to putting yourself out there, especially in bigger and bolder ways. But this is like one of the main keys of growing a beautiful community of people who resonate with you for your business, for your brand. Growing a community around your brand is going to make you're going to need to be yourself and be real and authentic and vulnerable. And here's the thing, when I share more about myself, my beliefs, my experiences, and relate with my audience, they also are like, oh, wow, like she's been through that. So, this is exactly what I'm going through now. Or, oh, wow, she's into that. So am I. Or maybe they haven't, they just, it fosters deeper connection. It fosters deeper connection because your people are going to feel like they really know you and they like you and they vibe with you the more you are yourself. But think about it. If you're not being your full self, or if you're hiding, or you're holding back, or you're trying to be so polished and professional all the time, then it's actually going to create like this layer over you that's not going to fully allow your people in. You want to allow your people in to know you, to trust you, to feel safe with you, to really feel if you are someone that can support them and to allow them to develop that level of trust with you. And that level of trust and safety comes from you feeling that way within yourself. When you trust yourself, when you trust your channel, when you feel safe and grounded in yourself and anchored into your own confidence. Other people can feel that and they feel safer with people who are authentic. You know what I'm talking about. You have felt before when someone's like inauthentic and you can kind of like read that very easily. The same happens for people online. So to grow your audience, to grow your impact, to actually make a bigger difference with your work and everything that you're sharing, you've got to take off the fucking mask, be yourself, and really let people in to see you and relate your stories, your lessons, your wisdom back to them so that they can see themselves in your experiences and be inspired and empowered and moved to take action. This was actually challenging for me in some regards and not challenging for me in some regards. So I've been on the entrepreneurial journey for quite some time. I had a personal training business before my coaching business. And during that phase, I had moved through a lot of things around fear of putting myself out there, leading and guiding people in different ways, going on video. When I started growing my community with my coaching business, I also was nervous in the beginning to be myself, to show up. And at the same time, I just felt so called to do it that I decided to just get over that fear. And there's something that I say that really sticks with a lot of people. I share this all the time, and it's that action builds confidence and crushes fear. And that is something that helped me really move through any resistance around showing up and being myself. And I continue to push my expression edges when it comes to authenticity because it's a really high value for me. And also, there's nothing more freeing than being yourself, literally. And it's also funny because that's the thing that is going to attract everything to you. Being who you truly are is like creates a magnetic pull to all the things that you desire. And it's one of the main key things to growing a widely engaged, super fun, amazing community around your brand, around your mission, around your message. So start to think about what are different stories that I can share with my people that they will be able to see themselves in, where I can share some teaching points that will really support them. What are some perspectives that I have that my people would have as well so that they can know that we're on the same wavelength? What are some things that I'm into? Just I'm speaking as you, like consider all of these things. What are some things that I value? What are some things that I'm into that a lot of my people will be into too? Like I share a lot about channeling and plant medicine and spiritual business and just different things outside of business, but you get the idea where people see that. And sure, not everybody's into that, but a lot of them are or are curious and they resonate with that vibration. So consider what some of these things are for you and how you can start to bring them more into your messaging and the way that you show up. I also show a lot of my dancing and my hoop and my embodiment practices, and people really resonate with that. They find a lot of value in that. They are inspired by that. And you have these own things for you. You also have your own beliefs that have supported you on your journey. Share your different beliefs, your different stories, your personal experiences. Consider what these things are for you. Maybe you want to journal on this and get some things out so that you can bring more of your essence, your energy, your unfiltered expression into the way that you're showing up. Because again, that is going to be the most magnetic thing. And it's the one thing that most people hold back on because they think they need to be perfect and polished and have everything together and blah, 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 blah. Like, no, we're all just messy humans sometimes. And people love real and relatable, like especially now, like the coaching realm and the entrepreneurial realm online has gotten much bigger, and people can have people's bullshit meters go up when you're not being authentic. They want real, they want relatable, they want someone who they can feel like they really trust and who has their best interests. So be your fucking self and consider how you can share more of you through your messaging and through your content and through your expression on and offline. And last but not least, the third core thing to grow your community as a spiritual entrepreneur in 2024 is magnetic, high frequency content. Doesn't that sound juicy? So, magnetic high frequency content is content that is intentional and that elevates the consciousness of your people, as in it's empowering and it's intentional in the sense that it speaks directly to the soul of the people that you are speaking to. People's attention spans are super freaking short these days. So give them a reason to stick around, to want to binge your content, to get a lot of value out of it, to get to know you, what you do, how you can support them so that you can also invite them in to work with you further if it's aligned for them. Magnetic content is something I can geek out on forever. I love content and I love creating content because it's a form of expression. I view it as a form of expression, as a form of art, and I love being intentional with it because I basically I use my past self as a muse, but I also use my soulmate clients as a muse. I let them inspire what comes through me through my content. So I consider different things through my content, and I can make a whole nother video about this. I actually have programs on high frequency content and so much, but essentially you want to be intentional with the content you're creating. You're not just putting content out there to put it out there. You're not just putting content out there to grow your following. You're putting content out there to share a message, to make an impact, and to transform people's lives, to grow your business, to actually help people. So you want to be intentional about it. I think that quality over quantity is key. That's what I've always done. I know there are some people that tell you to post a bazillion times a day and all that. I post consistently. That's definitely a thing to be consistent. It's that's like if I had to add another thing to this, the fourth thing would be consistent. That might look different for every person, but be consistent. And magnetic content. Think when you are channeling magnetic content that elevates the frequency of your people, you want to consider what are some things that they is going through their mind? What are some things that they are like saying to themselves? What do they really want? And what's some specific things that they're struggling with or that they're moving through? And how can you speak to that through your content? You're going to have different forms of content to build your magnetic content energetic billboard on social media, which is a whole nother topic. I can geek out on energetic billboard for social media, but essentially You want to create an energetic billboard on your social media through your content that sends out this signal, these frequencies that draw in your people. And there are several things that go into magnetic content, leadership content. This is you really speaking to something specific that is going on with them and sharing how you would walk someone through that, or how you would guide them through that so that they could get takeaways from that. You can also create shareable content that shows more of your hot takes or your beliefs or different perspective shifts, things that support your people in shifting their beliefs. You can share that, that or different types of content that people share where they could get to know you and resonate with, which I spoke some about in the being yourself one. Um, I like to get creative with my content and test things out and try things out and really put myself in the shoes of the person that I'm speaking to. So that's one big main piece of magnetic content. Put yourself in the shoes of the person you're speaking to. But then there's another piece of sharing what you want to share, being yourself. And it's the two combined that create this beautiful magic potion where it's like you're dropping massive value through your content. You're being really intentional about it. And you're still being intentional when you're being yourself and showing how you embody what you teach, preach, and believe in. And people get to know your personality and your energy through that as well. And it creates this way that people can both get to know you and who you are and all that, and get to receive from you your guidance, your value, your support. And we're all different, we're all unique in our own way. And the way that we express ourselves through our magnetic content is going to look different. So I like to tell people to test and try different things out that feel exciting, that feel creative for you. And I love to also share some things that I do. But the main thing is to keep your people in mind. You want to know your people like the back of your hand. And sometimes you might not yet if you're just starting out. So putting things out there and seeing what people respond to, what people have questions about, and that sort of thing will support you in coming up with even more amazing content ideas to attract your people. So when I was starting to grow my community back in 2016, 2017, there was a moment in time after about a year where it blew up to from like 1,000 people to 30,000 people within months. And during that time, I was literally just sharing what I felt called to share about. I was sharing things that I learned. I was just sharing my excitement, and I was in a flow state with it. I wasn't hung up on, oh, how do I position this? Or, that my message became more clear and my content became more potent as I showed up. So I maybe wasn't as intentional in the very beginning, but then once I got into my flow with it and I started to see what people were resonating with and I started to own like what I was really excited to talk about, it really supported and elevated the um, frequency of my content, the intentionality of my content, and my skills in communicating and really piercing the souls of the people that I'm talking to through my content, my writing skills elevated, and so on. So consider how you can start to create more magnetic content with what I shared in this. What are some things that your people would really benefit from? You can even use inspiration from other people and see what things do well and relate that to your niche or your area of expertise and test things out and have fun with it. And this is the recipe to growing your community as a spiritual entrepreneur in 2024 and keeping in mind that, again, people could smell bullshit from a mile away. Be your authentic self. People's attention spans are short, so make sure you are grabbing their attention with something catchy, valuable, and to the point in the beginning of your content, and know who you're speaking to and know who you are, because that's ultimately going to create the biggest difference with how you are growing online. And remember this, it doesn't matter how big your community is on or offline. What matters is you're attracting the right kind of people, the people that vibe with you, the people that you would want to work with. It's a two-way street here. That matters more than the size of your audience. I know people, and I've worked with clients who have small audiences and who are making multiple six figures. It does not matter how big your audience is, the quality of people in your audience matters. And if you want to attract quality people, the things that I shared in this will 1000% support you with that. So I hope this was super, super helpful for you. If you want more support with this, subscribe to my YouTube, listen to the podcast, come hang out and connect with me on Instagram at It's Stephanie Sage, because I have a lot more coming and a lot more that I've been sharing over the years to support you with getting your message out and really elevating the people that you are supporting and creating more impact and abundance in your life and in your business. I love you so much, and I'll see you in the next video.